Ladies and gentlemen, railbirds of all ages, welcome to the 2024 Derby City Classic. This is round one pocket action. Shane Van Boening versus Jake Weaver. See the lag here. We're playing one pocket. My name's Somerfield Habener. I'm here with Railbirds. Big shout out to Bad Boys for all their support in the stream. Thank you so much. Looks like Shane wins the lag. That's going to get him the first break. One pocket. You have to make 8 balls in your pocket before your opponent makes 8 balls in their pocket. They're going to claim one of those 2 feet pockets with the break, whichever direction Shane breaks towards. That will be his pocket. Fouls cost you a ball. And like I said, 8 balls in his pocket. So any ball pocketed on the break will be spotted after the turn unless it goes into his pocket. So can't make a ball on the break here. Catches that wing ball, scratches, so Shane's going to start out in the hole. I've been told by better players than me that that's typically going to be a racking error, not necessarily a breaking error. So looks like you caught that head ball a little bit thin. Jake coming to the table here, and it sure lets him out of this break a lot easier with ball in hand in the kitchen. He's got to worry about the 12-7, but he's also got the 4-6 to contend with because they're very bankable balls from there. Looks like he's trying to find a path inside the 13, but that's pretty tough action. So got to do something to move those balls or get inside of them and avoid selling a bank. It's kind of a tall order. He might not want to move things a whole lot and just make sure he protects against those balls. I like playing the 12 into the 7 here if you can hold the cue ball kind of underneath that 8-5. It's a tricky one. I'm glad I'm not in this position right now. So didn't try to do too much. Does a great job getting behind that 7. I like that because you're not really clearing a bunch out of Shane's pocket, but you are taking a little bit of an advantage away, and you don't sell the game. And it's really easy to sell the game from that position. 7 ball's huge right there. Looks like he's going to play off the 7 between the 4-6. Pretty touchy shot. Shouldn't be too much for Shane to handle, though. Looking down table, he can definitely play off the 13 and back behind the pack. That's a lot more distance to travel, but that window between the 4-6 is tough. So he's playing all the way under the 6. Real thin hit there. And does a good job. Looks like he's got room to play off the 5 and behind the 7-12. It's the only problem with the initial shot that he shot is you're really not taking away any of Shane's advantage, and it's pretty easy for him to slip by there. Like he had room to get to the 12. Does he stay under the 11 though? That's gonna hurt. Hopefully Shane can hold well enough off this 11 that 2 ball's a pretty great break ball. He may just use the 11 here. So he just wanted to get all the way over for the 4. Didn't leave himself a huge angle here. It's either going to push around for the 2 next or stop there for the 12. I think he's got the angle to get around for the 2. Tried to come back for the 12. Gets there, but he's a little steep. Over a couple balls. Not an easy queuing position, especially if you're going to try and open the stack up. Luckily, he's really close to the pocket. Rails are still slipping quite a bit. Catches the backside of the 2, and that's going to limit the amount of offensive opportunity. Can still work with the 1 ball here. He's probably going to play the 1. Hope to make contact with that 6-7 and freeze him in the stack. So moving the 6 ball out of there. I think he wanted to be a little closer to that 7 ball. I don't think he's going to like that back cut, but yep, Shane's spotting up the ball that he owes. Yeah, the 7's a hard one to bet the game on, but it looks cuttable. Shane maybe even kind of tempting him a little bit to shoot. The stack's still pretty put together. Yeah, really got to get something behind his hole, or in front of his hole. So looking at the 2-railer, hits it pretty good, doesn't quite get there. Unfortunately, going to sell a bank on the 7. If Shane can avoid the kiss, he's definitely shooting that. Catches it a little high, but doesn't sell anything. Not a lot of room for Jake to work here that close to the 4 ball. I like just thinning off the 4 and getting underneath the 7. Jake is a player out of Birmingham, Alabama, coming in at a 652. Shane is Shane. It's a monster. Does a nice job. Good touch on that shot. Gets a little further off the ball than he would have liked, but Shane is going to feather and stay under there. Lets him see a little more than he probably wanted to. If you're going to shoot this shot back, you either need to leave him on the rail down here or push up into the stack. And pushing up into the stack can get a little more risky. Executes very well. Moving that 7 ball into a makeable position for Shane, but bankable position for him. Shane's just going to cut this over by his hole and get up behind the 13 ball here. Yep. It's going to be tough. You know, you're playing Shane, this is what you're going to be looking at, and at some point you gotta put something threatening in front of your pocket. I don't think this is the time to do it, but just looking at thinning off the 5 ball here, maybe trying to get under the 7. Nice touch on that one also. So continuing to put Shane in tough spots, but without anything threatening. Shane's kind of free to shoot away. I don't think he's going to force things on that 5 ball. Yeah, nothing really combo banks at his hole right now that I see. So, I mean, you know it's an effective shot when you get Shane to move the closest thing from his hole out of his hole, so it's a good shot for Jake. He can, I don't know, I like twisting this 13 ball. You can come straight back across table. He's got something in mind here. Just trying to get back in the stack. Looks like he protects from the 6 ball, so again, nice touch there. That's going to give Shane a little more room to work, though. And now he could shoot that 4-5. He looks like he's just thinning it, though. That's why I like trying to move that 13 ball. You got to get it just a little closer. It looked like he had a good line to come across table there. Taking a good look at that 14-4-5. It looks like it might have lined up for him. A lot of variables on a shot like that, though. Looks like he could potentially kick 2 rails into it, though. He might have the room to spin between the 13-15, but probably going to have to hit that 8 ball first if you do. I'd like to not move those balls if you could, because they wired up pretty good. They look like they're a little high now. I wouldn't be surprised to see Shane bank this 6 and come up table. There's not a lot of offensive threat here for Jake. He's got a free 2-railer. Just going to draw into the stack from there. Comes all the way across table, hits it good. It's going to be close. It's not going to go, and Jake is going to have a look at it. It's not a super easy removal from that angle, though. Yeah, you try to come to the bottom side of that ball. You risk a double kiss. It doesn't look like you have the whole top of the ball. Might just pocket this ball for Shane. Doesn't really have access to his whole cue ball, which makes it more challenging also. So came to the high side of it, clips it out really well. Man, gets away with it. Good shot. That's a touchy shot. I didn't think he could see the high side of the ball to thin it like that. Well, gets him out of the 2 ball, but unfortunately Jake's going to lose control of his 13 here. Shane just going to bank this close to his hole. Goes into the stack, opens it up, and that's a tough spot. Still got room to get underneath it, but things are starting to fall apart a little bit. I like playing. Yeah, so the 8 ball's a great ball to follow up. I might have played off the 6 and tried to come underneath. Doesn't get away with it that time. Shane's going to have a tough time not picking 6 out of this. Just doesn't want to see these 13, 9, 8, 4 tie up. That worked out pretty well. 5 to go. Derby City Classic, the largest one-pocket tournament in the world. If you haven't been, you gotta check it out. It's my favorite. Shane, somebody pretty consistently in the banners or in the rafters throughout the years. Needs one more. Gotta watch off the 6 here. I mean, Shane's gonna handle it no problem, but all right. Shane Van Boening taking out game number 1 here. Jake Weaver to break. Stream sponsors Hustlin' Clothing USA, JB Custom Q Cases, Jerry Olivier Custom Qs, Lippman Lights out of Portland, Oregon, and Locked and Loaded Custom Billiard Apparel. Thanks so much for your support of the stream, and thanks to you for tuning in with us at Railbirds. See what Jake can do with his break here. Break a huge advantage in one pocket. Get to select which pocket you like to shoot at. You also can usually get something pretty close to your hole. So hits him pretty hard. Cue ball's in a good position. Gets some balls on his side. That's a pretty good break. Shane, unfortunately, has clear path to get out of it, but I don't think he's really going to force anything too offensive here. Just moving a couple balls out of there. Gets a ball on his side. Jake's really going to want to try and maintain that 10 ball. Looking like probably playing off the 15. Either freezing on the 8 or getting behind the stack. I like playing the 15 a little firmer and just freeze into the 8 ball because I'd really like to get that ball out of there. It doesn't cut for Shane right now, but it's the closest thing to his pocket. Nice shot. Might have given him the piece of the 5, though. If he can see that 5 to bank it, might be doing it. He'd be selling the 10 ball, but it's a pretty juicy bank if he's got the room. Plenty of room here to beat the kiss. Fires that bank, opens up the stack. Yeesh. You don't have to leave a lot of room for Shane to work. Not sure that he has that 8 ball. It looks like he does. Aside from that, he's got to, even if he's considering the 413, I think he's got to move the 8 first. Did have room on the 8, playing the 10 ball next, it looks like. A lot of these players just getting done playing banks or still in the banks tournament. I would imagine Shane's still in at this point. So definitely have a good feel for how these tables are banking. I think he'll probably play that 1 ball. I don't think he's going to force the combo at this point. So a good shot to be able to get back on this 12. He needs 5. Pockets the ball, overhits it just a touch. I think he's going to go to the 6 ball here. Yeah, if he can come straight across the table, play that 413 next. So he's just trying to move the 4. It looks like he got it. It's tight, but I'm just moving the 9 for the bank. 2 to go. It's a little closer on the kiss here. It's either got to get up high enough for the 12 or move some balls here. Yep, not able to beat the kiss there. Oh, man. It's tough action for Jake. Gets away with it. Doubles him up on all those balls. Might be able to see the 14 to cut it. But, boy, your first real look at anything offensive, and it's not a walk in the park. 14 ball, very makeable, though, and I think the 3 ball goes as well. I mean, there's 4 or 5 here you can pluck out without too much effort. Got to make sure you pocket all these balls. That 11 ball might go too. He's got a great opportunity here to take a game down. Draw back off this 11. Oh, opens up the balls, but not sure that 4 gets by the 3. If it does, he's in great shape. If it doesn't, that's a pretty unfortunate roll. So gonna have to buckle down and make this combo. You can play the 3 ball here if you're more comfortable with that. 3 ball's definitely a safer shot. Nice play. Hopefully he leaves himself the 7. All right. He's shooting for 4. Either going to duck under this 9 ball or come around 3 rails. Yeah, boy, 4 balls away. Nice job standing up there, walking around the table. Okay, start thinking things like, "Ooh, I'm out." That's a great time to take that little lap. Comes over and back. Look outside pocket. Avoiding the side pocket beautifully. It's a little funky here. It's a good time to get back on the 12, but both those balls in the way. He's just going to have to make sure he comes over that side rail and back. Nice confident stroke. Great leave here to get back on the 12. Jake Weaver 2 balls away from taking this from Shane. Oh, doesn't get there. Bank blocked by the 12. Well, almost he saw a 6 and not out from Shane and a 7 and not quite out from Jake. That's a heartbreaker. I think he's just got to come back to Shane's pocket here. Come off the 12, off this bottom side rail and back up to the upper right-hand pocket. This is when 1 ball, 1 pocket really comes into play. Knowing these late game scenarios it's a really different game. The more time you spend exploring that, the places on the table where it's impossible to make a ball, better off you are. Nice job. He just doesn't want to come quite that far across the table. Makes that ball a lot more bankable for Shane. Not a lot of hesitation there from Shane. Gonna fire this 15. Well, banks it too sharp, and how's it gonna end up? Wow. Gets away with it. I know it's crazy, but I think I'm kicking this ball. It's ill-advised. Looks like he's just going to clear it over to his side. Might try the Z, but the line's not really there. Probably wanted a little more out of that. I think Shane's going to shoot the same shot here. Dialing it in, that's a lot closer. Jake's going to have to deal with that 15 ball. Might just thin this one. All right. Probably hoping to clog that bank lane up, and I might have worked. He might try to spin this 12 around the 15, but that can get expensive quick. Shane can also 3-rail the 15 here. She might have room to just stiff this 12. Yeah. Oh, that's so brutal. Ball hangs up on him. He's dead in on the 15. Jake does not have a clear path to knock this ball free or to make it for him. Can use the 15 to make the 12 here. But that's scary. That 12's deep. But what? Otherwise you're just kicking? I'm not sure I like the kick here either. He's taking a look at just cutting that 15 ball, and he's right to do so. If you get a chance at winning the game, it doesn't really matter how tough the shot is. Really wants to play this pocket speed. I mean, he's got to buckle down and make this ball, but you leave him any kind of bank. Lights out. Looks good. It's going to be close. Oh, barely missing. Yeah, unfortunately that ball very bankable for Shane too. Gives himself the little back cut bank. Game number 2 for Shane Van Boening. Heartbreaker there for Jake. That was brutal. I thought you had that one. Tournament sponsors here for this event, Diamond Billiard Products out of Indiana. They're incredible. All the tables you see out here, all the lights. Beautiful, beautiful playing equipment. Thanks so much to Diamond. Simonis Cloth, Aramith Billiard Balls, Outsville AccuRack. They make the template racks here at Derby City Classic. AccuStats Video Productions, and Master Billiard Chalk. 2-0, Shane's lead, Shane's break. Tough spot for Jake. Gosh, he ran the ball so good in that second game. It's a good break. He's got kick access to the 3 ball, and none of those balls leaked out that are making them bankable for Shane, so this is a little easier to get out of for Jake. Just got to make sure you kick this 3 correctly. $14 ball is definitely a danger for the bank, but it looks like if you come up high enough, it's not going to be. So it goes for thinning the 3, which I really think is the right way to play that shot. It matters how well you hit it. And he caught it pretty good. Doesn't look like it's going to cost him much. Unless he's got a path for that 4 ball. I kind of don't think so, though. The 15-4 is also an option. You can play that combo, come back across table. Had room on the 6, but he gets stuck. Well, fires that ball in. Doesn't get him much, though. Yep, so hard to not get stuck in the pack. That's where straight pool really comes into this game. Looking at that 11-13. You can't do that. You're going to open too much up. He's just going to play off the 8 or the 11 and get to the back of those balls. Just right in the crook there. Beautiful touch from Shane. Anytime you're hung on a ball, you just take so much of the table away. And at this point, I mean, especially being on the underside of that one ball, it's hard for Jake to get where he'd like to be in that upper right-hand part of the table. I think I like just leaving Shane long here. I like thinning off the one ball, coming to that lower left-hand part of the screen. Yes, he's got a cut on the 12, but I don't think Shane's going to take the risk to cut that 12 ball from there. Yeah, all your lanes coming to the bottom side rail and back over pretty tight. It's like trying to kick all the way under. Wow. And that's about as good of an outcome as you can hope for right there. Thin that ball beautifully, gets behind there. That's a really nice shot. Looks like Shane might have room to work with the 9. Probably trying to bank under that ball, maybe even clip the 14. Yeah, just cutting it a little wide, right in front of his pocket. Shane's dangerous. Could very well just try to pocket the 9 from here. You can either play off the 3 or the 8 ball. Boy, it's so dangerous. Staying under the 9 is not really an option. And even though you want to make it, it's a missable ball from there. I mean, some people might try to play the removal from there, catch the underside of the 9 ball. It's a tough one to have go well. So, and that's why moves the 9 ball. Oof. And that's going to cost him one too. So yeah, moves the 9 beautifully, catches a scratch though, and fortunately, a little frustration, knocking a couple balls. So he's going to start in the hole a little bit. Starting with the 3, then the 12. It's all the way over. Maybe work for the 14 here. Yeah, this is a good position to open some balls up. It's easy to get stuck under that 2, 11, 13. So figuring out how he wants to hit those balls. Looks like he's going for the gap right between the 2 and 11. To make sure it doesn't get stuck behind that, 5-9. Looks like the 10's got room. That 2 ball might have a part of a pocket. Tricky shot here, close proximity with a bridge, jacked up. Swing and a miss. He's got to think about avoiding that corner pocket also. Yeah, stuns that ball beautifully. If the 2 cuts, that could be curtains. Looks like it does. Shane's shooting for 3. Yeah, boy, oh boy. It's a tough guy to run into round 1, man. Shane Van Boening. That combo wired up beautifully for him. Oh, it didn't. So he overhit that ball. Left himself real thin. Not able to cut that ball in. Boy, oh boy, signs of life. I mean, this is a tough position to be in. But again, this is how his first run started. Ended up 7 and out. A little tougher when he got a ball buried in your pocket, you're down 2-0 and 7-0, but we've seen him run balls well. Got to start with the 7. Looks like you can lead right into that 1 ball. Talk about pressure, man. But at the same time, at some point when you think you're beat and you got another chance at the table, that's breathes some serious life into you. Over for that 8 ball next. Great line. Probably would have liked to have been going into the 5-9 here. Kind of come around a few rails for the 15. It's that ball very nice. Again, unfortunately, kind of on the wrong side of things. Yeah, where do you go from here? 5 doesn't cut, 9 doesn't cut, 1 doesn't bank. I mean, you got to move the 11 and not sell a shot. And that 5-9 looks just a little high of the pocket. It looks like you can push it in. He's going to fire this ball. Try to come around 3 rails, I'd imagine. He's just got to make sure he's free to see the 11 and be able to move it, which is easier said than done. Still shooting that really confident stroke, though. Oh, man. Well, had to do something. Heck of a try there for Jake Weaver. Shane Van Boening taking that one down 3-0 in round 1, 2024 Derby City Classic. Thanks for tuning into Railbirds TV. If you get a chance, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It's going to let you know every time we go live here at the Derby City Classic. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again soon.